Hello everybody, my name is Alex with Finance with Alex, and in today's video, I'm going to be looking into the wizard and muggle descriptions from a report that I saw by McKindsey Company, which I just thought was very interesting. I saw this on Financial Times about 70 days ago when it was supposed to, I think it was about 67 today, so around 70 days ago. I have some talking points written down on my computer here that I'm going to be looking at. And I really wanted to dive into this because I thought it was very interesting. But yeah, before I dive in, hope you all are having a great day. It is 3:06 p.m., so happy afternoon. Post-holidays, hopefully everyone had a great holiday. And then New Year's is coming up, so happy New Year's. So let's dive into this. So, first thing is it's between wizards and muggles. Or at least that's what they're calling it. And this is from Harry Potter. I believe y'all know what Harry Potter is. Or at least that's where I know it from. Could be from different things, but it's said that the wizard companies are innovative, tech-driven organizations, and then the muggle companies are said to struggle in keeping up with traditional industries. And it says that it highlights the dynamics of modern capitalism, but also offers lessons for businesses and investors navigating this ever-changing landscape. So the business world is always changing. There's always going to be new things, different events occurring. And it's, from what I'm reading in here, it's showing the separation of that between the innovators and then people falling behind. So, from what is described, what are these wizard companies? The wizard companies are described as exceptional organizations with high levels of investment, innovation, and growth potential. For example, AI and the meta things of that sort. It has completely taken off. That could be seen as a wizard company. Like it says here in my talking points, like Amazon, Nvidia, and Xiaomi. I'm not sure what that one is, but I know we're all familiar with Amazon and Nvidia, which for the same reasons. Everything is going more digital, and Nvidia, I know I have a gaming computer and it's the graphics card in there. It's more than just graphics cards, but with all of this higher end AI / just the computer related things and just online related things, everything needs more power. And NVIDIA is the one producing these graphics cards and other computer and system things that allow people to run and organizations to run those higher end programs. So it says these companies operate at the forefront of innovation, investing heavily in transformative technologies such as artificial intelligence, like I said before, cloud computing, and biopharma. Their ability to adapt, scale, and redefine industries place them in a league of their own. Again, with the AI, for example, if you were the first one for the AI, for example, Tesla was the first one, to my knowledge, that did quite well at the electronic driving and the electronic battery powered cars, right? So that face is kind of the poster child, I guess you could say, for the electric cars. Whenever you talk about electric cars, like, oh, do you have a Tesla? You don't go, oh, do you have I don't know, what's another electric car? I don't even really know, because Tesla, it has taken that spot in my brain for the electric cars. So they're in a completely different league. They've pushed the boundary of what we thought was possible, and they're going to keep on climbing of that sort. For instance, NVIDIA, through its advancements in AI chips, like we were talking about before, has become a cornerstone of the AI revolution, enabling growth across multiple sectors, like we talked about before. Here we go. In contrast, we have the wizards again, which are the innovators, the investors, people who are breaking the barriers. And then on this opposite side, we have the muggles. So the muggle companies, which are older, lower growth industries, these are companies that lack innovation or agility and need to attract they just are, they're falling behind is what I'm trying to get at. They don't have that new innovation to get investments and things of that sort. Like I said, attract significant investments. Sectors traditional manufacturing, legacy retail, big on legacy retail. These stores, these brick and mortar stores, are slowly starting to fall out of business, of course, because Amazon and online retail is taking over. I know myself, I hardly shop at retail stores other than, I guess grocery stores are a bit different, but I go through Amazon and online things for anything. Because if I can save the gas, save the time, all I have to do is hit a couple things on my phone or press a couple times on my computer and I can get it shipped to my door. There's almost no reason to go out, right? Unless you want to see, feel, and look at the object in your own eyes. And of course, some things I will do that. For example, I don't know, like higher end things, like of course, like a new phone, a new things of that sort. You're gonna go on and want to try it out. But let me get back to. I'm kind of going on a rant here. But legacy retail face increasing challenges as they compete with rapid advancement and resource allocation seen in high-tech industries. The McKindsey report, which is the report about this wizard and muggle, emphasizes that without substantial reinvention, these companies risk being left behind in a world that prioritizes, this is important, prioritizes technological advancement, which is what we've been talking about before. We're getting a lot more online, more technology is being created, and really it's crazy when you look back on it, how even a couple years ago there was nothing like we have right now. Amazon, massive step in the online retail. I can push a couple buttons and have something delivered to my doorstep the next day. It's amazing. But these brick and mortar stores, they really, I don't know, that's why I'm not doing it, but I have no idea how they can reinvent themselves other than going online to compete with things like Amazon of that sort. I have no idea. And that's the only thing that's going to keep them from going out of business, or they're going to be left behind. So now we're going to talk about the emerging growth arenas. So McKinsey, person who made the report, identifies 12 high growth arenas that have been accelerating since 2005. These include biopharma, cloud computing, electric vehicles, like we said about the Tesla, and renewable energy. Forgot about that one. That one's also big one. Collectively, these industries are projected to generate up to $6 trillion in profits by 2040. That is just a ridiculous amount of money. A key takeaway here is that these growth arenas are not just about technological innovation, but also about addressing global challenges, again, like the renewable energy and electric kind of go hand in hand, decarbonization, health, and digital transformation. These companies that can lead these areas are most likely to dominate in the next phase of economic development. I think I put arenas instead of areas. So that's my bad. I meant areas. So 12 high growth areas. Where else? And then these growth areas. So I misspelled there. But like I said, this last sentence, these companies that can lead in these areas are most likely to dominate the next phase of economic development. This entire thing is just about innovation and how things are changing, right? We're going through a huge change when it comes to technology right now. In these last couple of years, it's starting to slow down a little bit, but still, many things are going on. And if you cannot compete or try to compete or innovate or change to compete with these companies, you're going to be left behind. Like, for example, Tesla's the easiest one that I can think of. Tesla, you see what the market is for Tesla. So all these Ford, Chevy, Hyundai, all of these different types of car manufacturers are like, okay, what can we do to try to compete with Tesla? And honestly, my opinion, they can't. It's really hard to compete with them because they're behind and they're trying to catch up and they're doing a decent job. Like, for example, my father has a Hyundai electric car and not a Tesla. So in some ways they are competing with them, but they had to act really quickly and try to push out. And that's what you saw a couple years ago when Tesla started getting popularity, is these manufacturers were pushing out these cars that were hybrid, electric, and things were going wrong with them. Quite a few callbacks and things were made of that sort because they had to push these out or they were losing a ton of business. So yeah, we have to, I say we, the companies that are being left behind have to innovate in order to dominate the next phase of economic development. Sorry, a little rambling there. But let's go. One of the final things, challenges and uncertainties. So the report notes significant uncertainty. Wow, I really cannot speak right now. Significant uncertainties that could influence these trends. For example, wow. Okay. Do I have any water? No. Okay. Geopolitical tensions, supply chain disruptions. We saw that a couple years ago. And it's still it's pretty much fine now, but it still wasn't the same as before. Regulatory changes could all impact the trajectory of these industries. For instance, the tech decoupling between the US and China has implications for company heavily reliant on cross-border innovation. If you're taking things from China and bringing them to the US, there's going to be some problems, right? And that's for anything, import, export. If there's tensions or anything of that sort between two people or two different countries, nations, there's going to be some economic changes because of that. The rapid pace of technological changes poses challenges for companies that fail to adapt quick enough. I apologize, my camera just died. I just saw the notice. So what we're talking about is the rapid pace of technological change. If companies can't adapt, they're gonna be left behind. We talked about that. Almost every single section of this report has talked about that. These Muggle companies, they have to try to compete with these wizard companies or they will not make it. For example, the biggest one I can think of, Toys R Us, man. When I was younger, I'm still young, but when I was younger, that was my place. I always used to ask my parents, can we go to Toys R Us? Blah, 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 blah. It was before Amazon really took off and the online retail really took off. I was asking to go there and I was getting stuff there like every week. You get good grades, we'll get you a train track or something. And we always used to go there. The place used to be packed. There used to be people waiting outside the door all the time. As you know, they went bankrupt and they filed for bankruptcy and they closed, other than like maybe one in Canada or something. I'm not sure. I live in the States, by the way. So they couldn't compete with these online retailers because no one was coming in to buy these toys that they could just do online. And me now, I would do the same thing. I would most likely go to Amazon instead of having to drive and physically go into Toys R Us to get a gift. Now, my personal opinion on these, and I don't know how it's going to change, but one thing is, one example I can give is, let's say it's your friend's birthday or something like that. It's baby shower. You forget it's today. You're on the way to the baby shower. You're like, I don't have a gift. You can go to these in-person brick and mortar stores, pick up a gift real quick, and then go to whatever event you have, the baby shower, for example. Now with Amazon, you can't do that, right? You have to wait like at least a day, which, I mean, whoa, a day. But I mean, if you need it now, it's you can't, there's nothing you can do about that. So that's the one positive about these brick and mortar stores, which I think they'll have some longevity, but everything is moving more and more digital. So, the last part of this, even wizard companies must stay vigilant and continue investing to maintain their edge. So, like you said, everyone is trying to fight their way to the top, right? So these Muggle companies are trying to find every way to try to compete with these wizard companies. What that means is if a Muggle company finds something that the wizard company is really good at and they develop a way and maybe even make it better, right? Then they're going to swap roles, right? So let's say this Muggle company A, is working on, I don't know, renewable energy. They find something completely groundbreaking. And this company, Wizard Company B, has not made any improvements. They're going to swap places, right? Because this company has made something and found something more valuable than what this one had, right? So these wizard companies that are wizard companies right now, they have to continue innovating. They have to put in almost the same work as the Muggle companies to make sure they don't get taken up, right? Now, these wizard companies are going to be generating more money. They're going to have more resources. So it's going to be easier to keep researching and things like that. Other than the Muggle companies, they're not going to have as much support and as much backing as these wizard companies. All right. In conclusion, this report highlights the profound shift in global economy. It shows the importance of innovation, adaptability, and strategic investment in shaping the future of business. For businesses, this means prioritizing growth areas and embracing transformative technologies will help them succeed. And honestly, it's not even much of a help. It's more of a need. They have to do this or they will be left behind. For investors, it's a call to focus on companies that drive and sustain innovation. So, for example, you can look up top 10 best investments for stocks, let's say. And a lot of them are going to be these AI, electric, technological companies. For example, Tesla and NVIDIA, because that is where this business world is going. And that's where the world is going digital. Anyways, so investors, just do your research, but a pretty solid investment are going to be these AI, you take a Google search, you'll figure it out. As we look ahead, the question becomes, will your business or your portfolio align with the wizards of the world or fall behind with the muggles? Right? If your portfolio is, let's say, invested in Jimmy's Boutique, nothing wrong with boutiques, but if it's in Jimmy's Boutique and not in, I'm going to give you a real life example, NVIDIA, you're going to be left behind. Because this is probably, maybe it is a growing place, so it's a steady growth, but NVIDIA is going to give you way more for your investment than Jimmy's Boutique. I apologize yet again. It ran out of memory, so I had to switch that out real quick. So, like we said, investors, you're going to have to get on this wizard train and follow it to the top, right? It's going to be these tech companies, these online things. Businesses, going to have to go online, have to find new ways that you can just innovate. That's really to innovate. And I know that's how it is 24/7, even before this tech world. But even now, even more than ever, it's going to have to be innovation. You have to find something that sticks you apart from the rest, that's not going to put you behind. That's everything I had today. Very, very, very interesting report. I think it's very realistic. It's very I mean, everything that I read in this report was truthful, I believe, and very well put together. I guess shout out to McKinsey and Company and Financial Times. Yeah, Wizard and Muggle world. Crazy that business would be related to Harry Potter. Anyways, it was a pleasure making this video, talking with y'all. I love doing these kind of discussions and things of the sort, so I'll probably keep on doing these if I find something interesting. Yeah, I had a great time. Have a great New Year's, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.